The story begins in the summer of 1957. Bryce Losky is 7 years old. His family is moving into a new house on a quiet street. A girl from across the street, Julie Baker, who is also 7, comes running over to help them move. Bryce's father is tired and doesn't really want help from a little girl. But Julie doesn't notice his feelings. She is too excited. She sees Bryce standing there, and she thinks he is the most handsome boy she has ever seen. His eyes are so shiny. She feels something strange and wonderful in her heart. Without thinking, she runs to him and grabs his hand. She looks into his eyes and tells him she loves him. She even tries to give him a kiss. For Bryce, this moment is a nightmare. He is a shy boy, and Julie is so bold and energetic. He is scared of her. He doesn't like her forwardness. He feels trapped. His very first goal in this new town is to get away from Julie Baker. For the next several years, this becomes his main mission. He hides from her at school. He pretends he doesn't see her in the hallway. He avoids her at all costs. But Julie is always there, like the sun. She is in his class. She sits near him in the library. She tries to talk to him about everything. She doesn't understand that he is avoiding her. She thinks he is just shy, and she loves him even more for it. For years, this is their relationship. Julie chases, and Bryce runs away. Julie lives with her parents and her 2 older brothers. Her brothers are always practicing music in the garage. They are not a wealthy family. Their house is small and their yard is a little messy. But they are a happy, loving family. In their front yard, there is a very tall sycamore tree. Julie loves this tree more than anything in the world. She climbs it every single day. From the very top, she can see the whole town. She can see the houses, the school, and the beautiful hills in the distance. She watches the sun rise and set from up there. She feels a sense of peace and freedom that she cannot find anywhere else. The tree is her special place. She often tries to get Bryce to climb the tree with her. She wants to share the beautiful view with him. She wants him to see the world the way she sees it. But Bryce always refuses. He thinks climbing a tree is childish and embarrassing. He worries about what other people, especially his friends, will think of him. One day, some men arrive with a big truck and chainsaws. They are going to cut down the sycamore tree to make room for new houses. Julie is up in the tree when they come. She refuses to come down. She sits on a branch and holds on tightly. She stays there for hours. She shouts at the men to stop. She cries and begs for help. A crowd of neighbors gathers on the street below. Bryce is there with his friends. He watches Julie in the tree. He feels a little sorry for her, but he does nothing. He is too worried about what his friends will say. He pretends he doesn't care. Finally, Julie's father arrives. He climbs up the tree to talk to his daughter. He speaks to her softly and gently. He tells her that he loves her and that her safety is more important than any tree. He says, "A tree is not as important as my daughter." Hearing this, Julie finally agrees to come down. The men cut the tree, and Julie watches it fall. It is a heartbreaking moment for her. For weeks after the tree is cut down, Julie is very sad. She cries a lot. She doesn't want to talk to anyone. She feels like she has lost a dear friend. Her father is very worried about her. He wants to do something special to help her feel better. He is a painter, so he decides to paint a picture of the sycamore tree. He paints it beautifully, with all its branches and leaves, and the sunlight coming through. He puts the painting on the wall in Julie's room. This helps Julie a lot. She realizes that even though the real tree is gone, its beauty and the feelings it gave her are not completely lost. Her father's love has kept the tree alive in a new way. The painting reminds her every day of the beautiful view and the peaceful feeling she had up in the branches. Meanwhile, something new is happening in Bryce's life. His grandfather, Chet, has come to live with his family. Chet is a quiet, thoughtful man. He reads the newspaper every day and doesn't talk much. One day, he reads a small story in the newspaper about a girl who sat in a sycamore tree to protect it from being cut down. The girl is Julie Baker. Chet is very impressed by her courage and her love for that tree. He tells Bryce, "There is something special about that girl. You should be nice to her." Bryce doesn't understand what his grandfather sees in Julie. But Chet starts going for long walks in the neighborhood. One day, he sees Julie in her front yard. He goes over to talk to her. They start talking about the tree. Chet listens to Julie with real interest. He asks her questions. They become friends. They talk about many things: life, nature, and family. Chet even starts helping Julie clean up her messy yard. Bryce watches this from his window and feels confused. He doesn't understand why his grandfather, who is so quiet, enjoys spending time with a girl like Julie. Another important event in the story is the school science fair. Julie and Bryce are in the same class. For her project, Julie decides to do something very interesting. She wants to hatch chickens from eggs. She is very careful and scientific. She gets some fertilized eggs and builds a small incubator. She watches them every day, keeping them at the right temperature. After weeks of waiting, the eggs finally hatch. 6 healthy, fluffy baby chicks are born. Julie's project is a huge success. Everyone is amazed. Bryce's project, on the other hand, is not very good. He just makes a model volcano out of clay and makes it erupt with baking soda and vinegar. It is a simple, boring project. After the science fair, Julie's chickens grow up and start laying eggs. Soon, she has more eggs than her family can eat. There are dozens of eggs every week. So, Julie has a kind idea. She decides to share her eggs with her neighbors, the Losky family. Every morning, she carefully collects the freshest eggs, puts them in a basket, and walks across the street to Bryce's house. She gives the eggs to Bryce. And he always says thank you. Bryce and his family eat the eggs, and they are delicious. But Bryce's father has a problem. He is a proud and somewhat snobbish man. He looks at the baker's yard and thinks it is dirty and messy. He worries that the eggs might not be clean or safe to eat because of the messy yard. He tells Bryce that he must tell Julie to stop bringing eggs. He says their family doesn't want them anymore. Bryce doesn't want to do this. He knows it will hurt Julie's feelings. He is too afraid of making her sad and too afraid of his father to say no. So, he comes up with a bad solution. For the next 2 weeks, Bryce continues to take the eggs from Julie every morning. He smiles and says, "Thank you, Julie." But as soon as she walks away, he secretly throws the eggs in the trash can. He does this every day, hiding his actions from everyone. He knows it is a dishonest and mean thing to do, but he cannot find the courage to tell Julie the truth. One morning, Julie is walking to school and she sees something strange. She sees Bryce go to his trash can with the basket of eggs she just gave him. She watches as he throws them away. She is completely shocked. Her heart feels like it is breaking. She walks over to him and asks him why. Bryce's face turns red. He doesn't know what to say. Finally, he tells her the truth. His father thinks her yard is dirty and the eggs are not clean. Julie is deeply, deeply hurt. She feels insulted, not just for herself, but for her whole family. She stops talking to Bryce completely. For the first time, she starts to question her feelings for him. She wonders if she has been wrong about him all these years. Is he really the kind, shy boy she thought he was? Or is he something else? Julie decides to do something about her yard. She doesn't want people to think her family is dirty. She works very hard, pulling out weeds, planting flowers, and cleaning up the mess. Chet, Bryce's grandfather, comes over to help her almost every day. They work side by side, and they talk. Julie tells Chet about her love for the sycamore tree and her feelings about her family. Chet listens carefully and understands her. He sees the goodness and strength in her heart. He admires her more and more. At school, there is a big fundraising event called the Basket Boy Auction. The 8th grade boys are the baskets. Girls bid money, and the boy they win has to share a picnic lunch with them. Bryce is chosen to be one of the basket boys. He is very popular because he is handsome. Many girls, especially the most popular girl in school, Shelley Stalls, plan to bid on him. Bryce is happy and excited about this. On the day of the auction, all the boys stand on a stage. Girls sit in the audience with their money. Julie is in the audience. She has brought all her savings, $8. But she is not there to bid on Bryce. She has decided she doesn't like him anymore. She looks at the boys on stage. She sees a quiet boy named John Truby. He seems kind and gentle. She decides to bid on him, just for a friendly lunch. She bids her $8, and she wins John. Bryce is watching everything from the stage. He sees Julie in the crowd. Suddenly, something changes inside him. He realizes that he wants Julie to bid on him. He wants to have lunch with her. He feels nervous and excited. Then he sees her raise her hand and bid on John Truby. He feels a sharp pang of disappointment and jealousy. He watches as Julie and John sit together and have lunch. They talk and laugh. John seems like a nice boy. Bryce can't stop watching them. He feels terrible. After lunch, Bryce walks over to Julie. He tries to talk to her, but she is cold and distant. She doesn't want to talk to him. He doesn't know what to do. In a moment of confusion and strong feeling, he tries to kiss her, right there in front of everyone. Julie is shocked and angry. She pushes him away hard and runs all the way home. She is so confused. How dare he try to kiss her after everything he has done? She slams her bedroom door and refuses to come out. Bryce realizes he has made a huge mistake. He thinks about Julie constantly. He remembers all the things his grandfather said about her. He starts to see her in a completely new light. He realizes that she is not just a strange, bold girl. She is smart, strong, loyal, and has a beautiful, honest heart. He understands now that he likes her. Really likes her. He wants her to like him again, but he doesn't know how to make it right. Julie stays in her room for days, thinking. She is angry, but she is also thinking about everything that has happened. Her mother talks to her and helps her sort through her feelings. She decides she needs some time alone to understand her own heart. Then, one afternoon, she hears a noise in her front yard. She looks out her window and sees something very strange. Bryce Losky is in her yard, digging a hole with a shovel. He has a small tree next to him. At first, Julie feels a flash of anger again. What does he think he is doing? But then she looks closer at the small tree. She recognizes it. It is a baby sycamore tree. Julie goes outside slowly. She walks to the front yard. Bryce is still digging. He looks up and sees her. He looks nervous and a little scared. He doesn't say a word. He just keeps digging. He carefully places the small tree in the hole and covers its roots with dirt. He pats the ground around it. Julie stands there and watches him. She remembers the big sycamore tree that was cut down. She remembers the painting on her wall. She remembers the beautiful view from the top. She looks at Bryce, working so hard in her yard. Suddenly, she understands. He is not just digging a hole. He is trying to say he is sorry. He is trying to give her something back. Something that was precious to her. He is planting a new sycamore tree for her. This is his way of saying he understands her now. Their eyes meet. Bryce stands up straight. They look at each other for a long, quiet moment. There is no anger in Julie's eyes anymore. There is only a soft understanding. A small, genuine smile appears on her face. She realizes that her feelings for him are not completely gone. And Bryce, seeing her smile, feels a wave of relief and happiness wash over him. They don't need to say anything. The little tree, standing there in the freshly dug earth, says everything. It is a new beginning for both of them. It is a symbol of hope, understanding, and the possibility of love. They stand together in the yard, looking at the small sycamore tree. A new feeling, a mixture of friendship, respect, and the beginning of real love, starts to grow in both of their hearts. It will grow slowly and carefully, just like the little tree they planted together.